Asexual reproduction. It occurs when one or more new organisms arise from a single parent without involving fertilization. So this is a process that comes about without fertilization. So there is no fertilization involved in the process. Now, the offspring that arises from asexual reproduction is genetically identical to the parent. Since all the descendants of an asexually reproducing organism are genetically identical, then these descendants are referred to as clones. So a clone is a descendant or an offspring of an organism that is produced by asexual means. And because asexual reproduction comes about through mitosis, there is no variation between the offspring and the parent. And as such, that genetical similarity between the two, that is the parent and the offspring, makes the offspring a clone. So clone or clones refers to organisms that are descendant from a parent organism by asexual means and are genetically identical to the parent. Now, there are different forms of asexual reproduction. And in this particular topic, we look at the three commonest, namely fission, spore formation, and budding. So we started with fission. Now, fission is the process of asexual reproduction by which a single organism divides into two or more equal parts, with each part then becoming a new organism. So usually fission involves single-celled organism. You have one organism that is single-celled, then it divides into two parts, or in some cases more than two parts, and each part then becoming a new freely existing organism. There are two forms of fission depending on the number of offspring. The first is binary fission. Now, binary fission involves a cell splitting into two daughter cells. That is what it simply means. One cell dividing into two. Now, binary fission occurs in bacteria, is also present in unicellular algae, in paramecium, and also amoeba. In this particular illustration here, an amoeba cell is seen to undergo binary fission. So you look at binary fission in amoeba, which begins with, of course, the replication of cellular materials such as the chromosomes and organelles, and then the pseudopodia retracts and the amoeba attains an oval shape. So the first thing that happens is a retraction of this extension known as the pseudopodia, so that the amoeba becomes roughly oval in shape. Then the nucleus, in the second step, the nucleus divides mitotically to give rise to two nuclei. Each nucleus will have the same number of chromosomes, At the same time, the cytoplasm divides so that the cell is divided into two daughter cells. So the cytoplasmic division continues until we have two daughter cells that result. Now each daughter cell then develops into the maximum size, and under favorable conditions, the daughter cell then begins a process once it has attained maturity and the environmental factors such as temperature and nutrients availability are favorable. Then this cell will then repeat the process of binary fission, such that under favorable conditions, many cells can be reproduced by binary fission. The second type of fission is a multiple fission. And in multiple fission, there's a parent cell, and in the parent cell, the nucleus undergoes repeated meiotic division, so that there are many nuclei that are produced. Then, each nucleus separates with a portion of the cytoplasm, so that you have many daughter cells that are produced. So a multiple fission occurs in organisms such as Plasmodium that causes malaria. So from one parent cell, we end up having many daughter cells that are produced. And of course, the multiple fission also involves mitotic division of the nucleus. So the nucleus divides repeatedly, and then eventually each nucleus separates or pinches off with a portion of the cytoplasm. It reforms a membrane, and each part becomes a new organism that is freely existing.